Vous écoutez Sans détour, le podcast de Géninem. Je m'appelle Cyril Deléaval, je suis coach au sein de Géninem et avec le soutien de notre parrain Bernet et Associés, représenté ici par Laurent Bernet, nous vous proposons des témoignages authentiques d'entrepreneurs suisses romands, des hommes et des femmes qui, à un moment clé de leur parcours et parfois à répétition, ont choisi de faire les choses autrement. Ils et elles partagent sans détour leur expérience entrepreneuriale, leur vision du business et de la vie. Sans plus attendre et sans a priori, entrez donc avec nous dans le monde fascinant des entrepreneurs. Qu'est-ce que ça change d'être accéléré par Combinator ? Nous recevons aujourd'hui Govinda Upadhyay, fondateur de SmartHelio, qui anticipe et diagnostique les défauts ou les pannes qui surviennent sur des panneaux solaires. Sa start-up a été accélérée par Combinator, qui est un fonds d'accélération américain qui investit dans des start-up et offre un programme aux entreprises sélectionnées. Comme avant lui Reddit, Dropbox ou encore Airbnb, Govinda a bénéficié de ce programme et partage avec nous ce que lui et sa start-up en ont retiré. On parle scaling, solving problems, Swiss Entrepreneurial Mindset ou encore Business Tricks. Ah oui, j'oubliais, cet épisode est exceptionnellement en anglais.
Hello, Govinda.
Hello.
Please present yourself.
Hi, I'm Govinda Upadhyay. I'm CEO founder of SmartHelio. The SmartHelio makes software for solar plants. So our software helps to prevent downtime in a solar plant. And I'm based out of Lausanne, Switzerland.
And what have you done before SmartHelio?
So I was doing research in EPFL on climate modeling. So looking at the cities in future that climate change will happen and how the renewable energy can help to avoid it. And then I did my first startup in children education called Let Safari. So it was about teaching children about climate change. And then this is my second startup, started 3 years back on SmartHelio, which was building smart algorithms to generate more energy from existing solar plants.
Why do you become an entrepreneur?
I like solving problems. I just felt that there's a lot of burning problems in the world and then there's a lot of new things happening. I'm excited about the solving problem for climate change. And I felt that I have enough knowledge and I get enough support to do the things what I want to do. And that's being fun to being an entrepreneur.
Do you remember maybe when you was a kid, what was the first problem that you wanted to solve?
So my father is an engineer, helicopter engineer. So I grew up in India, in New Delhi. And then I always saw him fixing things in the house. So that was always made me curious. And I was a kid, he used to break a lot of stuff. So that's why my mom never bought toys for me, because she always bought toys. And I was just curious like how it works. And I used to break it and try to fix it up. Of course, I can't fix it. So I think that was the one moment which always felt that I'm always curious about things. And definitely like the father being there doing things that was inspirational. And yeah. And that was the one thing made me feel that I think I can do myself stuff.
And climate change was always something in mind?
No, so it's very personal. In India, I come from a region which is very poor, like my family and ancestors. And for every summer vacation, we will go to that village. So in Delhi, you have all the facilities like what we have here. But in village, you don't have electricity. You have to walk for almost 2 to 3 kilometers to go to the village. There's no road also. And every summer we did it as a child. My father grew up there. And I was always amazed that why these people don't have electricity, because it was hot summer in India. You have to just stay under the tree and just it's hot completely. And then still there's no AC, there's no fan and all. So that bothered me a bit. And then more and more I started studying. I was good at mathematics and science. Got into one of the top universities in India for the engineering. And I did my physics and electrical engineering from there. And that's the moment I felt that, okay, we cannot depend on the government to provide electricity to people. We need to create like a system where people can do themselves. And of course, renewable is the choice because it's decentralized. So I think that was the trigger point, which came from personal experience. And it just more and more I study, more and more I talk to people. I just got super excited. It just felt like a problem which is visible everywhere, but no one is trying to solve it. And I felt that I should do a good attempt for it.
And how do you arrive in Europe then?
When I was studying in India, it's very normal. If you're from the good university, you do only 2 things. Either you work for a multinational there, or you go for higher study. I chose for higher study because I wanted to study more energy. I had a choice between US and Europe. In Europe, I realized that there's more renewable energy stuff going on back like 12, 13 years back. And really good universities are there who really care about this topic. So, and also like, to be honest, like I didn't have a very strong financial background. So I really looking for scholarships. US, you have to pay a lot. So Europe became like obvious choice. On top of it, I got a European Union scholarship to come here to study sustainable energy technology. from top 2 universities like KTH Stockholm. That's really one of the good one on climate and energy. And in Eindhoven, Technical University of Eindhoven, which is another very top university for such topic on these smart electricity. So that was the origin for me. So thanks to the scholarship I got, and also like these university was really so good.
And then now we are at EPFL.
So I got into EPFL for my research on climate modeling. So that was also exciting because almost like 10 years back, I was not sure that I want to do jobs. So I had multiple job offers. I could have easily gone to the corporates, but I felt that I don't have enough knowledge yet to do things. So I got PhD in Switzerland. To be honest, PhDs are well paid. Whatever we talk about it compared to outside is really well paid. So I felt that, okay, I have a good salary to live. I learned something super cool. Get to spend with smart people in EPFL because EPFL is really top universities in the world. So that was a starting point. And in 2016, I left the research and I started my first startup.
And regarding the second startup, SmartHelio, can you tell us a bit more about this one? What's the business model? Who are the clients? All the stuff?
Actually, the origin was that during my first startup, we were doing trainings. And during the trainings, I got in touch with a lot of solar companies. They really like the way we train people. So they said, hey, can you train my people into maintenance of the solar panels? And that's where we realized that the solar plants are not maintained well globally. And I become curious, like, okay, it's so bad. Like, you make massive investment into solar plants and then they're not being managed properly. Why? And it's bad. It's just bad because you lose money, you lose energy, and then what you do with those solar plants, which are supposed to live for 25, 30 years, and you're already saying after 5 years, they're not working. And more I digged, I realized that the algorithms and data can help. This is just one part of the puzzles. Of course, there's multiple things you can do. So that was the origin. So we started SmartHelio, we started writing algorithm, which is also coming from my research work, what I did before. And we started targeting people who owns and operate the solar plants. So for example, we have clients like SIG, Service Industrial Genève here, which kind of owns and operate the rooftops. But also we have clients like in India, Tata's, Adani's. In Europe, we have EDP. There's a big Acciona in Spain, BKW, for example, in Switzerland. So these are the people who owns and operate, and they use our software. Business model is very simple. It's either SaaS, so software as a service, or licensing. We do both. And the good thing about our product is that we are not replacing any other IT infrastructure for these companies. We just add our software on top of their existing one. So we kind of empower their software to do better job.
Could you already measure the impact of your solution?
Yeah, of course. Our software basically provides speed to my client. So when a solar plant anywhere in the world, when it's stopped working, then people know that, oh, that section of plant is not working. I should send someone to fix it. Now, there's a problem here that system has already stopped working, and you also don't know why it has stopped working. And that creates a lot of confusion when a person goes to fix it. So what we are able to do is like detect those small variations in the current voltage, a little technical thing, and alert the ground staff or the people who are concerned that, hey, your system will fail by this date for so reason. So reason could be you have some ground faults or you have a fuse blowing up. There could be multiple reasons. So those are the things, and we really see, because we grew like 10 times in the last, from last year to this year, which already shows that the clients are very excited about such solution.
And what are the feedbacks from your clients? Did you expect improvement? Are you working with them together to improve the solution?
Yeah. So initially we worked a lot with clients which have a lot of technical acumen, and they can help us to co-develop certain things. So we learned a lot from them. Generally, clients use us for two reasons. One is that, of course, improve the solar plant performance, because you want to extract more juice out of existing assets. So that's no-brainer. And the second, which we didn't know, that the cost is very important for them. So right now, for fixing anything, it takes time and it takes a lot of manpower. And it can go anywhere from fixing things in 1 day to 1 week, or it can cost anywhere from, let's say, like 100 Swiss franc to even thousands of Swiss franc, because people just don't know like what's going on there. So these are the parameters with clients are giving us good feedback, and of course we keep improving as we progress.
How many people work for you today?
So right now we have effectively 15 people, and there are more consultants, around 20, 25. So these consultants are sales guys, and 15 are operationals. So where we have a lot of technical people, software people, but also some business people.
What do you mean by operational? They go on the field and they fix the solution directly on the installation?
No, so operational means that they are involved in day-to-day with SmartHelio. So they are the software guys, algorithm guys, then we have business guys who are working on this. And then the consultants we have, they are sales consultants. So they have multiple mandates, and one of the mandate is for SmartHelio, go and sell stuff for us.
And a couple of years ago, you applied to the Genilem coaching program that you had, of course, and you also applied to the Y Combinator. Can you tell us about why you did apply to them and who was it?
I think that's what I appreciate the Swiss ecosystem, that we have coaching support like Genilem. So Genilem is an organization which supports young entrepreneurs like me who are in a very initial stage of their ideas and help them to get their business model right and making sense that you're not wasting time on the wrong things, right? So you spend time on the right things. And Genilem has great coaches, and I benefited a lot with them while just talking out, because sometimes as an entrepreneur you feel alone, because you're just a one-man army and you're just like, okay, I have to do this. But just to someone to talk it out, it just helps. And then if you talk to someone who's already experienced, that's the best. So that's where Genilem came in initial stage. And then we applied to Y Combinator. Y Combinator is one of the best accelerator in the world for startups. It's also called the Harvard of startup or something like that. All the big companies like Dropbox, Stripe, Instacart, and all these billion-dollar companies, Airbnb, they're all Y Combinator companies.
And SmartHelio.
And SmartHelio, of course, now. So very, very lucky. When we applied to Y Combinator, there's one thing, like, I knew that it's such a big brand. Like, if you get it, like, then a lot of things get solved first. So it's like, if you come from a great university, people are not going to doubt that you're not competent, right? Like, if you're from EPFL, ETH, MIT and all, like, of course, you need to be smart to be there. So that's one thing, like when you are in Y Combinator, you know that you're a good entrepreneur, at least you have a label. So that helps you to move very fast in fundraising, contacting clients, etc. and etc.
Sorry, for people like me who doesn't heard about Y Combinator before, how do you get in?
So they have a very efficient process. So you first fill a form, which takes half an hour to fill. And what I know from the way they assess is they're going to read for 10 seconds. And if 10 seconds they're not interested, they're not going to read completely. So you need to be very, very sharp. And you can't write it blah, blah, blah. It has to be like one-liners, two-liners, this. So that's one. Once you get selected, you go for an interview for 10 minutes again, where you have YC partners. These are the ex-entrepreneurs actually from these companies, really who have done it. Like they're like maybe me if I'm very successful in 10 years back. And they sit with you, they'll ask you very precise questions. You need to be very precise. And in 10 minutes, they will judge you are in or out. And if you're in, they will send you immediately after a couple of hours a mail, either for rejection or say that, oh, we want another due diligence, like they just want to be sure, or they say you're accepted. So I feel, I don't know, like just the whole process itself is very enriching as an entrepreneur, because you have to express yourself in those 10 seconds that what you do, that why you are a $1 billion idea, or why your idea matters, or why you matters to the world. And then the interview, you have to impress those entrepreneurs who have gone through your stuff and they know exactly like, okay, well, why you're doing this. Their main focus is on entrepreneurs, not on the idea so much. What I realized later, that they feel that if an entrepreneur is right, idea doesn't matter, because if this idea fails, he'll just make another idea successful. And it's so true. Like if you see all the Y Combinator companies, a lot of these successful companies actually started with some idea which didn't work, and they became a very successful company later on.
You said that they are just reading the first 10 seconds. Do you remember what was your first 10 seconds?
I don't remember. Yeah, I think, like, to be honest, like it was my second time. The first time we got the interview, and then in the interview we didn't have enough revenues. So in the interview, one of the partners messaged me saying that, sorry, we can't take you. I think it's a great idea, but looking at the revenues you're growing. So growth, they want to see growth in terms of users or revenues or any parameters. It's not growing enough to be thinking that it's a big enough problem for you, problem for the world yet, but apply next time, maybe you have a better story to tell. And the next time I applied, they already know that I had applied. So they love to follow the journey. So that's very important for them, is that it doesn't matter you fail first or second time. most of the startups here, more than like 50, even 70, 80% are the second timers here, because they track you for 6 months to that you're growing, because you're going to apply again with the new data. And there I just showed like, look, like now I have so many clients, and then we grew like almost 8-9 times. And they were like, okay, now there's no brainer. That's the only thing we wanted to be sure that your idea, someone will pay for it. So yeah.
And then once you have been accepted by them, what happens? You have to go to New York, it's everything online? What happened?
So unfortunately, when we got selected, still there was COVID times. So everything happened online. And I felt that was one of the drawbacks, that we could not connect with the individual batch mates quite well. If you get selected, you need to be for 3 months in Silicon Valley. And there you do interact with those smartest guy in the world, all the entrepreneurs coming there and talking, partners there. And definitely there's a lot of human bonding happens. We did not everything happen on Zoom. We used to have something called group office hours. So when they select startups, they group some startups who have similar way of operating, and they talk every week.
How many startups?
With me was 9, but overall 200 was selected. But with me was 9 startups, which they were my kind of, let's say, buddies.
From all around the world?
All around the world, yeah. All around the world. A lot of Americans, Indians, Europeans, Africans.
And it's like a class?
It's like a class. They really... So there are 2 things very important for them. What philosophy of Y Combinator is that money should not be the problem for you to die. That's one thing they say. So it means that you need to get investments, because we believe that you are a good entrepreneur, and the money should not be the same. Your idea should be the one make you feel, not saying that, oh, I ran out of cash. So they make sure that you get investments. So they already put quite a bit of $500,000 already when you select, and then they create something called demo day at the end of the classes, where all the investors like Sequoias and Excel and Khoslas of the world will just come and pitch, and then you pitch, and then they say, okay, I will put money or not, and it's very easy. But the most important thing, like definitely it's a money-making machine. Like you can really raise a lot of money at very, very high valuation. That's like impossible. But the most important is that for the 3 months, these partners will sit with you and fix your business model. They sit with you and really go through every aspect of your business to tell you that are you spending time on the right thing or the wrong thing. And because of them, like we grew almost like 10 times in 3 months. The clients were just wanted us, and we became like so successful that like we had backlog of clients. So from a position where I was just able to sell to just overselling happening. And it was not like they were from solar industry, nothing. It just, they give you business tricks.
Such as?
Well, I don't know whether we can share completely or not, but one thing was
Or not?
No, but I can share something. Like there were a lot of tricks we did, but one thing was create scarcity. Scarcity means that if someone comes to you and then you just say that, look, I'm working with a lot of people, I don't have time enough, but I want to still work with you, what should we do? So those tricks like scarcity, fear of missing out, making sure that you're talking to the right people in the organization. How do you identify that that's the right one, or am I wasting time? Because in we do B2B enterprise software. So it means that we have so many levels of clearance, right? So for example, our user is the asset manager, but our customer could be the COO or CTO. And then I have to go to the purchasing department. The purchasing has to select, it looks good or not in the pricing, right? So it's a mess. Like it's just selling all of 3 together. How do you do? And they all teach you all tricks. Like how do you do all those things?
At the end of these 3 months, what really changed on your business? What kind of move you've made after this?
I think like the going through Y Combinator just make you super confident, and attitude changes a lot. Like business, still I'm doing the same stuff, right? I'm making software and selling to the solar companies. I think it's the attitude that it's okay. You'll go through downtime and you go through super stressful times. It's fine. You're an entrepreneur. That's one. And second, that makes you super proud that, okay, a kind of a push that you can do it. You can do this, all this stuff. So 2 things, attitude. So really it's become more sharper. Second is like more business oriented. So I was thinking like I was running a lifestyle business before. Like, okay, I send some money, I get some money, it's fine. But they really make you feel grow. You need to grow and you need to solve the problem faster and faster because they're a much bigger problem later on. So those things comes and a lot of confidence. It's really a lot of confidence what they give.
And that gives you also opportunities to meet or to connect with people who were like very important for the company.
Absolutely. So it's also give you confidence that how to talk to the people like who is unreachable. You can leverage Y Combinator brand. So in US is really big. So if I tell to a client like, hey, I'm Y Combinator, there's no brainer. Like people just come to you and want to try out with you because they just feel that, if Y Combinator has selected you, you must be super good. And I want to experience that, how good you are on that side.
And regarding the other startups, are you exchanging a lot with them or?
So in my batch, since it was online, it was a bit harder, but still we exchange a lot. We have a Slack channel where we talk and we can ask questions. We have a problem like I wanted to hire some guy and then I just posted like, hey guys, I want to hire some guys. Can you help me? And then this happens. I know in other batches which they have physically met, they become really good friends and all. And many times happen that the guys just join together, 2 startups, and they make another big one. So yeah, but it is quite giving community. Everyone feel obliged to help other entrepreneurs.
Okay, you have those 3 months program, and then when it stopped, do you keep following with the Y? Okay, with the startups, but what about with the Y Combinator itself?
Oh, definitely. So even yesterday, I had a call with my YC partner there. So they're always there, and they keep following your growth. Any problem I have access to their calendars. I can book meetings with them. It's always a 20-minute meeting, and you can ask any questions you want. So if you're confused about business model, if you're confused any problem with the customer you have and you don't know, or the team and management, because we are also growing. Like when I applied, we were like 5, 6. Within 1 year, we became 15. Our plan is to go to 25 to 30 next year. And as an entrepreneur, for me, it's difficult to handle so many people who are also scattered all around the world. They help. So they're always connected.
What is a YC partner? Is it some sort of a coach, and you have one coach one YC partner per project, or you have access to multiple? How does it work?
I have access to multiple partners, and they all have a specific skills, so you can reach. So it's kind of a coach, but I will say it's more like a mentors. Yeah, I won't say coach. They don't coach. They just tell you that I have this problem. Can you help? And they will experience they share their experiences.
Do they give you advice, or do they share what they have lived?
They do 2 things. They challenge you a lot, so that's important. And the second, they just share their experiences. They never impose on things. If they say that it's a bad idea, they will tell on your face, it's a very bad idea, you're going to lose and you're going to kill your company in the next 1.5 years. Because their philosophy is, bam, it's very clear because it's 20 minutes. And I've never had so many effective, fast information, enlightenment in 20 minutes rather than talking for 1 hour, right? I think this is very important. They're very brutally honest, sometimes too brutally honest, these guys. I think it's good. It should just pierce your heart, saying that, yes, it was bad. I shouldn't have done that.
And what is the deal with them? You can use them how long you wanted, or there's a period?
I can use as long as I'm a founder. I can use them. It's just a lifelong tag. They keep investing in you because it's also investor. Huh? So they have a vested interest that if you are successful, they take quite a bit of shares. So if you're successful, they're going to become a lot of money. And then they can distribute again to their shareholders, and more and more companies can benefit. So it is kind of first a community feeling that we all were YC alumni, so they all help each other. And then second is this vested interest, hey, you're good, you'll become for example, they own so much of shares in Airbnb, and Airbnb was 100 billion, and they spent 100 200k at the initial stage, so something really crazy growth for them.
And do they have some sort of annual meetings, or where you all are together?
Yes. So in Silicon Valley, in San Francisco, they organize annually events for the batches to end, and then everyone is invited there. And as a founder, I can always go there and meet them because, for example, 2 months back, I was in Palo Alto for my investors, and I met them there, and we hang around, we had a drink and eat food and just laughed. So that's really it's really like a family, I feel, with these guys. Yeah.
And what is the next step now for your company?
So next step is really grow. We have many different ideas to scale the company more and more, and also focused on decreasing the sales cycle, creating more and more value for our customers, and also faster. So right now my solar industry is growing like at a rapidly rate like we can't imagine. Am I growing at that rate? No. Am I growing enough? Yes. But we should at least grow at the market pace, right? So those are the technical things we want to do.
So what is for you the difference between the Swiss attitude and like the Silicon Valley attitudes of the entrepreneur, or the way how it works differently?
I think like it's a very good question. And I wish like a lot of people can have this experience of going to Silicon Valley and just at least learn. You don't have to adapt everything what they do. But this one attitude is very interesting for them. It's just this focus on the business, really getting the customers and if someone will pay for me or not. And that is completely missing in Switzerland. I felt it at least in EPFL, because also it's a technical university. We all coming from technical background and we build. But that's not true. In Silicon Valley also we have so many great schools, like Berkeley is there, Stanford is there, all the UC companies are there. So they're all technically very, very sound guys. So there is really focus on the business, like will someone pay for me or not? And here is really people keep building the technology forever. So I feel that the market perspective is a bit different. And that I think Swiss ecosystem, which is super strong, I feel, with all the government support and we have an organization like Genilem doing great work, InnoSwiss, they all should really focus on the market side. Don't let entrepreneurs keep building things and exhausting taxpayers' money, right? At the end, we get grant. It's us paying taxpayers' money on that. So this is the one things I feel. Rest is, I think, as entrepreneur, they will survive. They're like a cockroaches. They will survive, kind of.
If you have one tip to share with, let's say that there are some entrepreneurs who are listening to this podcast and they're wondering, should I apply or not to YC? What would you suggest them?
I think just apply, like nothing wrong, because YC is all about people. It's not about the idea so much and all. They really want to check. And if you're an entrepreneur just writing some ideas on paper or you're selling some, it doesn't matter, just apply. Application itself will make you think a lot of problems. I didn't even think about this, like the way problem can be looked. So definitely like that's one thing. And the second part to entrepreneurs, I will say that listen, we are so bad at listening to other people because we are so overwhelmed with our idea that this is the idea I'm going to work. And I was also like that. I think I'm like that. Like I'm very adamant on my ideas, but I'm getting more and more flexible to listening people. And that is very important if you want to really move in the right direction.
So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for all the return of experience you gave to us. It's very, very nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Govinda.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time.
Voilà, on repasse en français. Nous sommes arrivés au terme de cette rencontre avec Govinda. Comme il nous le raconte, la croissance de sa start-up s'est fortement intensifiée depuis le financement de Combinator et leur programme. C'est évidemment grâce aux bons conseils prodigués par ces fameux YC Partners qui d'une part vous challenge et d'autre part partagent leurs expériences dans des calls de seulement 20 minutes, mais c'est également cette sorte de validation que vous êtes un bon entrepreneur une fois sélectionné par ce fonds si prestigieux. Mais on comprend en écoutant Govinda que ce qui a surtout changé, c'est la mentalité et l'envie de voir plus grand et donc d'avoir plus d'impact. Et cet impact vient de l'accélération qu'on est capable de donner à son business à travers l'augmentation des ventes en se concentrant sur les choses les plus importantes, les plus impactantes. Comme je le dis très souvent aux entrepreneuses et aux entrepreneurs que j'ai la chance de rencontrer dans le cadre de Genilem, l'argent n'est pas le but, c'est le moyen pour continuer son impact. Et si on veut que le business continue, il est impératif d'avoir plus d'argent qui rentre que d'argent qui sort, donc plus de ventes. Quoi qu'il en soit, je retiens surtout de cet échange l'importance d'être à l'écoute des autres et de prendre les feedbacks afin de faire progresser son idée dans la direction du marché et de le faire vite afin d'avoir toujours plus d'impact et en tant qu'entrepreneur de résoudre toujours plus de problèmes.